So we're going for the drive. Almost want to tape my camera down so it doesn't go flying. Wonder if a little red tape would hold it to the dash. Ding, 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 ding. Tape's on the other side. We'll get her on the other side of the gate. Boom. You can even straighten it out a little bit, eh? Like that. Get a pretty good picture like that. Another foot further and I can close the gate. Hunting season will all be in the back of my property as soon as I leave it open. I don't want that. Piece of sticky red tape. Whoops. Well, that didn't rip very cleanly. Let's see if that works. Across the dash. Down to the dash and up and around. And hopefully that holds the camera there. We're going to see a little bit more to the right than left. And yes, my windshield wiper, but oh well. I wonder if I can. Not much better. Aussies. Trip the reset. Reset B. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump. It's funny on a side road you gotta look both ways, but like I said, it's hunting season. The hunting they will go. Pretty prosperous area for deer hunting here. And moose, but it's really hard to get a moose tag up here. That was the neighbor's hunting camp there. There's Denara, I think is their hunting camp. Out of Oakville. Some Serbian gentlemen have the property next to me. So I went over and met their acquaintance. I tried to get the man's name, but a different name from a different country. I should have just wrote it down so I could have practiced. I like to know people's names. It's a polite thing to be. Not be. It's a polite thing to do is actually learn what someone's name is. At all possible. Getting older, your memory certainly doesn't work like it used to. Well, we're at 4 minutes already. And we got, what, 24 minutes or 25 minutes? Yeah, we should be able to make her to the dump. Oh, look, it's Guns Road. See the trees over and stuff? And they only cut it after they come down. You gotta watch at times. I'm only clipping along at 50 kilometers an hour here. people that do 100 in here. You'll see at times skid marks. See the skid marks in the corner? That's sliding sideways. And if there's someone coming the other way, you can't get out of their way because you're already sliding. You're out of control on top of the stones under your tires. And the four-wheelers get over here and they, can't say they wreck the road, but they go and do donuts at the end and stuff. I guess it's the younger guys. Can't imagine an older person taking their expensive four-wheeler and spinning it in circles. It's just, donuts are more of a younger thing. We've all done it, right? He's when lived in Georgina, which is a township of north of Lake Simcoe, north of Keswick and stuff. And Keswick and Sutton and Pafferlaw, it's all a part of Georgina. And I got plenty of tickets, 16, 17, 18 years old, in my hopped up, souped up Le Mans. The 50s on the back, leaving rubber. Left rubber on an officer's window a few times, yep. Nobody's innocent, people. We've all done things that you're probably not supposed to do. That's all part of growing up, right? But the thing is to learn from it and actually grow. Don't stay stagnant. Some people just stay stagnant and their lifestyle is atrocious. And then they wonder, why is my lifestyle, I don't want to say any names, why is my lifestyle like this? It's from poor habits. And if you don't break poor habits, like when we left Richmond Hill and bought in Alcona, and then I re-injured my back and couldn't work, so we had to sell Alcona property. That was a beautiful home on Englewood Drive in Alcona, probably worth about $800,000 or $1 million now, but huge garage, shop and everything, heated the whole bit. So then we moved to Bancroft, or we would have been homeless. It came to the point where I was a mortgage payment behind. My dad had to cover the mortgage payment. So almost 2 years later, I sold the property and house. And we moved to the off-grid log home in Bancroft, and the story continues from there about tearing down the log home we bought and living off-grid, and living like pioneers, basically. I don't want to get too far up. These guys are up here. They might stop with the guy with all the junk on his property up here. It's stinky in here too, garbage. I never took the lid off the can, but it's been a week and a half or 2 weeks since I've been to the dump. So she's a little rank back there. I didn't want to pull the lid off. Leave her sealed, don't stink out the house, don't stink out the car too bad. Then I had to move all my tools from doing that off-grid job that I was doing. So I will just hang back from these guys. Nobody's in any hurry up here. You get a few coming from the city and stuff to their cottages and camps and stuff, and they whiz through here about 110, 120 kilometers an hour, which is road racing, right? Anyways, there isn't a lot of police presence. There just isn't enough. There isn't enough cars out of South River to cover everything. I'd imagine that's where they come from, the South River, and then there's another detachment in Powassan, and I think Powassan one is the full-time detachment, where the South River one, I believe, is just a daytime satellite type of police station. I'd imagine. I've been through there at night and not seen any cars in the parking lot at all, so I assume it's like a satellite subsidiary police station, I guess you call it. And as you can see, we got yellow left, the birch and stuff, but poplar, that's poplar, I guess, and then some tamarack too. I'm surprised tamarack was up this high. But all the fall colors are gone, and October the 30th today. Wow, where did the summer go? I know where my summer went. I was raising birds, trying to fix all the problems the house has. Nice to have the heating system going. I like wood, and wood's very economical if you're cutting it out of the bush yourself, but as you get older it becomes more difficult to start hauling things, and you don't need an injury at 58 years old or at 63. It's just really hard to come back from. You know, it's not like you're 30 and you just bounce back in a week. And what used to take you a week takes you 2 months to heal now. So I've blown both my knees, and my back's been blown since 86, and paralyzed in 89 from the waist down on the right side. So I've had my serious injuries, and I try to be as careful as possible now. And you know, I didn't think years ago about picking up 300-400 pounds and sticking on a trailer, whether it be an engine, transmission, whatever. Just what had to be done, and that was me. I just did it. But in the long run, you pay for it. No one's Superman. I used to think I was indestructible when I was younger. I'm not like Superman or nothing, but I just didn't think I could really get injured because I was fairly strong for the size of my body and stuff. But yeah, anybody can get injured. But back to it. So I've been watching the tiny home movement, and there's homes for sale on properties for $125,000 for, like, I think it was 480 square feet or something like that, which I found kind of expensive. And is it done properly? Is it done with permits? Is the gas system certified by a certified gas installer for RV and propane mobile systems? That's important for your insurance. Is if it's off-grid, is the solar system certified? Do you have DC and AC disconnect switches? Do you have transfer generator switches? Do you have the proper grounding? Do you have lightning arresters in your system? A lot of people don't know, and I do because I'm an installer. I've installed solar and wind, and I ran my own company for a while till she got sick, and then I had to stop it and take care of her. But and then we never got back on the ball. You know, all the subsidies went away by the government, and about 80% of the American manufacturers, solar, wind, towers, poles, everything went down. Government took away the subsidies, and a lot of the even larger companies just had to close their doors because they just couldn't compete. And the money thing happened to the States, and that didn't help. So we're back to the solar and stuff, and I think we're going to give it another shot, see how many's interested. In this little community, there's not too many people that can afford it. There's a fella right to the left right now as we go by. I doubt if you can see it. He's got solar panels on his driveway. Fairly large ones. They look like 320 to 360 maybe watt panels. Unknown voltage till you read the back tab. When you're reading a solar panel, you look for the VOC, voltage open current, which means the panel's not loaded, it's looking at the sun, it's making as much power, as much voltage as it can make with no amperage, no wattage being drawn off the panel. And it'll say VOC in the listing down the tab about, you know, the manufacturer and all the other things they put on. But you want to know the VOC, and once you know the VOC, you'll know what voltage panel. A 40 volt panel, you want to be 52, 54 volts. You want out of that panel, because you got to be so many volts above your 48 volts to get a charge. To get a proper charge anyways. And the cheaper panels, you'll get below you'll get 49.5 or 50 volts, or 49.9 is a lot of them put down because they can't do the 50 volt. That's your cheaper panel with not as good of a cell. Maybe it's maybe the phosphorus is up to par as it should be, or as clean as it should be. Or it used to be silicon ingot, used to have to be very clean, but that was an expensive way to make panels. And for the size difference, I guess the phosphorus panels make more power. You get 72 to sometimes 90 cells in one panel now at 48 volts, doing 600 watts. But you know, they're 1400 watt panels, and that's what I'm planning on when I can afford it. I'll put in that size panels, and you have to put in all the panels the same size, same wattage, same voltage. You're just better to buy the same manufacturer, stay with it, and then you're within the parameters of Ohm's law and stuff, of having things within plus or minus 5 degree variance type of thing. You don't want to go too far out of 5% and have panels. What happens is your smaller panel or your weaker panel. Say I have a bunch of panels that are 400 watts, and then you have a panel that's 350 watts, and you hook that panel in series or even parallel, making the same voltage as parallel, and series is upping your voltage. No matter what you do with that panel can only produce 350 watts. So what it does is it pulls your 400 watt panels down to 360 or 350 watts. So you've wasted, if it's depending on the panel, say it's 4, but you've wasted 150 watts right there. You know, you've given away a smaller panel for trying to save the money. And it's the same with the footprint with the rack. Your rack costs you a lot of money, and so do the panels, and so does the inverter and battery, and et cetera, et cetera. But you want to choose your best panels, the affordability level. You want to size your system for larger than what you think you need, and then buy that rack. So if you have a rack that you only want 8 panels, go get a rack for 12 panels. Don't fool around, because to customize an 8-panel rack with the rails and the tabs and the standoffs and everything, clamps to hold the new solar panels on, it's not cost effective. So you might as well buy the best and size it to the maximum size you think you're going to do. If you have to go bigger, then you're going to have to stick it in another pole. And that's the thing about solar, it has to be on a pole. If you put it on the roof, you're not going to get the snow off it. There's so many disadvantages to the roof. The roof leaking, most of them leak. I had the one solar company coming around doing the microfit program, and 80% of the roofs leaked within 5 years. So then you got a roof problem, right? And now you're into more money because roofs aren't cheap anymore. Metal, shingles, wood, nothing's cheap anymore. Anyways, we're going to go towards, I think I'm going to build a trailer this winter. Once I get the B&B going, I'm going to start building trailers. Start with maybe a 28 or 30 foot trailer, make it into a tiny home with solar, batteries, all up the top end type of thing, and see if I can sell it for a reasonable price. I'm hoping to come in around $55,000 to $60,000, but it's going to be something someone can just go plug and play. They just move their underwear, socks, and t-shirts and jeans into, and buy some dishes, and away you go. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, we're coming up to Proudfoot Road. We're on Highway 11, approaching North Bay, using my signal, and we're going to stop and shake a little because I need new front rotors. And you see that shaking? Whoa! Don't want to slow down on this highway too much. You get hit from behind, and into the dump we go. I guess we got about four or 5 more minutes. Oh boy, you get to see the Powassan Proudfoot dump. Powassan landfill site. So we got some recycle today, and the barrel of garbage. We just got to stop and tell the fellas here what you got. Not bad, just recycle a bag of garbage. Take it easy. Are we still recording? 21 minutes. I guess you'll get to see all the dumpy garbage. I did see someone heading out, so I'll stop and wait for him to come through. Two of them. Well, she's piling up in here. They had a really nice old boat in here that had the bottom going out of it. And I don't have my truck running. I would have come back with the trailer and got it. Stuck it on the front lawn. I could have turned it into a boat garden like I did on Kinesis. Really nice boat. It was a shame it had been into the rebuilders in Powassan, and he said it was just too much to fix. It wasn't worth it. But yeah, for a lawn ornament, looks pretty cool. You put even flowers and sunflower seeds or something in the summer hanging out of it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool having your own little boat garden.